Part 97. Path to Heaven. Author, Wu Ziyi. Chapter 967. Chapter 967 Breakthrough Day. Shua. Qi Longshan's voice just fell, a surging sound broke through the surging sound, and the purple light flashed. Ling Longtian also did not know where to pluck in. Read the novel and go to the leaves U35XS. Is this news really correct? Wei Suo's eyes flashed sharply, and his complexion instantly dipped. Although he knows very well that Qi Longshan and Qingping have already said this, they must have been carefully examined, but this sentence has made him feel that he has not thought about it, but he directly has a feeling of focusing on great treasure, so he will bear it. I can't help but ask more. The news should be true. Spirit Beast Palace was prepared to and another 2-sect cultivator to surround killing a level 7 the low grade of Haoshan egrets, but when they went to find that there are cultivato are hit killed that Hao Day's egret left, they threw the shapeshift great art device to find out that the kill Hao Day's egret left is a young man, driving a peculiar, as the golden jade refining bottle gourd, but translucent bottle gourd body but also hidden a natural manifestation. General texture, such as the manifestation of an ancient desolate plant. Qi Longshan and Qingping looked at Wei Suo and Ling Longtian and said, I saw Li Ruo He True Yuan condensing the look of the bottle gourd when you talked about the young man, it looks almost exactly the same, there should be nothing wrong with it. Wei Suo didn't have surging sound, but the brow was unconsciously wrinkled deeply. At the moment, Nangang Yuking and others also walked out of the quiet room, but after seeing Wei Suo's deep thoughts, there was no surging sound. These two rooms were arranged close to the quiet room at the top of the desert island. It seemed to be quiet for a while. Void Daoist is also desolate race of Ain, got Void Daoist inheritance Zantai identity and origin is very suspicious, plus he wants en Linglan design Matilda Wei, so Suo Wei and Suo Longdian also must deal with him, just because there is still no can see through and into the void of the strong shapeshift great art and shapeshift great art great treasure, afraid to arouse suspicion, and expose their own not dead news, effect from his own clearance, so to deal with this person is temporarily delayed by two people. Achievement and Virtue Sect and Zantai Linglan teamed up to use Heaven's Dome powerful energy. If you open a gap in the perfect Heaven's Dome, it will inevitably lead to a beast. But if it is already in the gap, Heaven's Dome, for example, if it is already arranged on the heavenly profound continent Heaven's Dome of the monster beast, it will definitely not cause the animal tide. Maybe it will not cause other great treasures to pay attention, and there will be no great treasure to stop the interference. Now heavenly profound continent Sky Sword sect has been his flattened, Netherworld Palace no longer exist. Originally maybe heavenly profound continent the first person Nordhorn bright sect great treasure Yu Huafan has also been body and soul entirely, leaving a exterminated king bright induction by him. Su Shenjun was not necessarily the sect of immortal ascension sect achievement master and virtue and sect, and he was beaten great treasure injury origin chi, the rest of Yexian Cheng. And other divine ability, there is no shapeshift great art and Wang Wei I compared. Lonely Cold Continent has plans to attack Cloud Spirit Continent, and Heavenly Profound Continent's cultivation world. Many great treasures can be degraded, but at the moment it is the weakest of the great treasure land he is involved with. Did we always think wrong before? In the mind of Wei Suo's, the thoughts of these spirit light flashing, at this moment, are also worn in his heart as a line that makes him unable to dignify. Fellow Daoist Chi, Zantai Linglan with naked body is the secret place that appears in heavenly profound continent. Have you ever asked for a palace lord? After the line flashed in Wei Suo's mind, Wei Suo spoke and looked at Qi Longshan and Qingping. Asked Qi Longshan and Qingping nodded. It's near Heaven Cultivating City. Heaven Cultivating City, Wei Suo's brow jumped a little, and the city of heavenly profound continent northern part is now no longer alive, but it is no stranger to him. This secret place is not far from Heaven's Dome. I have already asked for the Palace Lord. He will try to arrange people to go to the area to explore. If there is any news, he will inform us as soon as possible. When I read the novel, I went to the leaf, Yu. Qi Longshan looked at Wei Suo and Ling Longtian and added one more sentence. Good. Wei Suo nodded and glanced at Ling Longtian. Li Ruohe for Wei Suo is also experienced the test of life and death, can be trusted. Qi Longshan and Qingping is very clear this point, so we'll contact him, let him know Wei Suo actually did not fall news, just to those people means, if really in he evenly profound continent northern part to do what ghost words, it is estimated that the power of Li Ruohe, also may not be found out. It seems that this core formation and the great treasure of divine mystic second layer will be rushed to the heavenly profound continent northern part. Wei Suo is not worried about whether it can prevent achievement and virtue sect and Zantai Linglan from affecting the situation of cloud spirit continent and heavenly profound continent. If you are unsuccessful, you can let the opponent sit on the great treasure. The party is still low-key. If you can't afford it, you can hide it. Anyway, so many supreme strong shapeshift great art is in your hands, even if the other party can break through a second layer cultivation base. It's only a matter of time before you catch up. There is a great treasure. Good secret place cannot be low-key when fishing, but usually there is no good secret place to grab. You can be a tortoise. This is Wei Suo, this is the only figure of Spirit Peak City little swindler. This is what the palace lord asked me to bring to you. After Qi Longshan and Qingping saw Wei Suo's brow stretched out, they knew that Wei Suo and Ling Longtian had a plan in mind, so they didn't say anything, just took out a deep yellow high-level treasure receiving pocket and handed it to Wei Suo. Li Palace Master has a heart, sent me such a great treasure ceremony. It seems that if you meet in the next time, it is necessary to thank him. After Wei Suo took the treasure receiving pocket, he immediately gave a glimpse of it and immediately said this to Qi Longshan and Qingping. This deep yellow high-level treasure receiving pocket is all water attribute monster core, with more than 20,000, and there are hundreds of water attribute monster cores above level 6. This is indeed an amazing gift for Wei Suo, which consumes an amazing amount of resources in culture. Although the Spirit Beast Palace is mainly slave beast, may own hand on the monster core than the general sect more, but so many numbers and rank water attribute monster core, haste is also prepared not up, certainly also before Li Ruohe heard about Wei Suo's some rumors, no Wei Suo repair is water attribute work shapeshift great art and heard Wei Suo in heaven transformation cult great treasure to buy the high level water attribute monster core relationship, deduce water attribute. Monster core maybe to Wei Suo have great treasure use, has begun to acquire these water attribute monster core. For Li Ruohe, it is natural to thank Wei Suo for telling him that Heaven's Dome will completely break down, and that he used to be the Spirit Beast Palace Lord, without shapeshift great art, and Su Qianhuan and others against Wei Suo. Heart and mind. However, for Wei Suo, he naturally understands Li Ruohe and regards Li Ruohe as a true friend. There is no such thing in his heart. Old great treasure. You have already come back and don't say a surging sound. We don't even know it at all. Old great treasure, your cultivation base is high. At this moment, the two people's great treasure surging sound appeared. It is the great treasure brain simple duo group Chen Chongming and Zhu Xiaochun. Old great treasure, you should never forget us. They are core formation one by one, old great treasure. When are you giving us more good things? Let us also make a den. Zhen Chongming and Zhu Xiaochun. This great treasure brain simple duo is a straight head, speak straight, it is not too embarrassing to have a secret place. I feel that it is a matter of course to follow such a powerful old treasure. However, listening to these two people, Wei Suo could not help but feel funny when he was embarrassed. To tell the truth, some time ago these two people are in retreat cultivation, so Wei Suo really did not think of these two guys, are really almost put these two guys forget, and now this Dongfu lust condition is really issued, showered, although not like Han Wei as Nangong yuking them, they concentrate their firepower, and the good things go to their bodies, but at least everyone cultivation the things they need and the spiritual stones they use to buy things, Some not up to Deo rank. Immortal level, but there are mystic rank on the cultivation base can be upgraded spirit pellet, like these two guys are also estimated to get a lot of, so the two guys now cultivation base entry is not slow. The true bone age of both people is less than 50, but the current cultivation base has actually reached the thought division third layer late stage. In this way, according to the current normal lust situation, even if you don't give a particularly good spirit pellet, etc., after another 20 years, it is estimated that the two guys hit golden core is also a great treasure. By that time, the two were at most 60 years old. At this age, core formation was also very good, and it was quite similar to many great sect elite disciple. And if there is no accident, this time will probably be shortened, because if the rest of the people are also behind the golden core, those are useless for the golden core, but for the golden core below, there is a natural focus on this. The body of two guys. I am afraid that this is an old saying that a fool is stupid. What makes Wei Suo feel funny is that he thinks that many of the great sect's elite disciple, who usually have their eyes on their heads, are pretentious, and if they see such two guys, they will have a golden core earlier than them. I don't know what kind of table lust will be on the face. Well, the preparations for this have already been done, and it's up to you. Then I transferred 2 quiet rooms. After reading the layout, there was no problem. Wei Suo and everyone had 2 quiet rooms, which made Han Wei and Nangong Yuking start to impact core formation. The impact of golden core, itself is to kill the life, to seize the life essence, itself is to rely on a sharp and forward-looking spirit. If you drag on for a long time, it will affect your own momentum. Shua. After the quiet room, Wei Suo figured into a streamer, swept away alone, condensed into the void, and stayed over the unnamed desert island. Today is the day he completely broke through the divine mystic second layer. Path to Heaven. Author, Wu Zy. Chapter 968. Chapter 968 is what you should be able to. Great Desolation Deo asking scripture and West's clean colored glass, both top supreme strong shape-shift great art, Nangong Yuking and Han Wei's spiritual chi look are extremely extraordinary, coupled with the amazing world of origin chi, everyone wants to see how the golden core of Nangong Yuking and Han Wei looks like. Hurry up, don't waste time, we still have a lot of things to do. Wei Suo he smiled and sounded to Nangong Yuking's ear. Nangong Yuking glanced at Wei Suo, but he was beaming, didn't say much, just nodded. Hong. With an amazing bronze glow, Nangong Yuking directly presented her golden core. So great treasure. Nangong Yuking's golden core was sacrificed, and everyone present was amazed. In the normal golden core cultivator golden core first layer core formation, the golden core is usually only a small treasure, but the Hangong Yuking golden core is a bronze body, which is actually a lot more than the goose egg, almost close to Wei Suo's golden core great treasure at the time of C immortal sect core formation was small. In this way, golden core of golden treasure, golden core powerful energy has even passed many cultivators of golden core second layer. It is very great treasure, haha. Wei Suo is also haha, a very fulfilling, but at the same time, his eyes are not honestly glanced at Nangong Yuking's chest. You guys, this time Nangong Yuking couldn't help it anymore, and he stunned Wei Suo. It's the shape-shift great art that spirit race great treasure can leave behind. Qi Longshan and others have also been amazed. Nangong Yuking's golden core has a very strong atmosphere. Although it is just condense, the golden core is a naked body with a strong ancient desolate atmosphere. People have the feeling of the ancient desolate monster core. In addition to the bronze glow of the entire golden core, there seems to be a chaotic spiritual chi in circulation, which is slightly different from the ordinary golden core. Look at the golden core. Look, Wei Suo was glanced at by Nangong Yuking, but he did not see it and said this. Nangong Yuking knows that the more this guy is, the guy will be more energetic, so she has no nonsense, her eyes are only flashing, the golden core is violent, and the giant core sunlight of a great treasure is spilled. Unlike other people's golden core sunlight, her golden core sunlight spilled out, but she and the golden core centered on her outside, condense a more great treasure of four-armed savage godlike light and shadow. This four-armed savage god has four arms in front of it, holding a shapeshift great art plate, intercourse weaving the unique origin chi power, but it doesn't seem to be like other golden cores. In the face of this kind of lust shape, the cultivator present is not surprised, because everyone has already known that this Great Desolation Deo asking scripture, also known as Endless Great Desolation Scripture, is an extraordinary work of origin chi great shapeshift great art. This work, Shapeshift Great Art, allows the body to maintain its current state, and the degree of aging is very slow, but this goal, Shapeshift Great Art, bullies the other side, playing powerful energy, but it can make the other party aging. In terms of Shapeshift Great Art origin chi itself, there are some powerful energies similar to the strange Shapeshift Great Art beads on the previous Weisuo Green Seeker Silver Staff, but this door and the Void Walking Step Shapeshift Great Art are from Spirit Race. In the same vein, the Shapeshift Great Art itself is a close-fitting Shapeshift Great Art with the Void Walking Step Shapeshift Great Art. Origin Chi, golden core powerful energy can't leave the naked body, can only be deceived by the other side to work. Zheng Weisuo reached out and tried to touch the golden core sunlight outside Nangong Yuking. The divine iron clear cry like surging sound, Weisuo's naked body suddenly shocked, and quickly received it. Hand. And how was it? Everyone knows that Weisuo's attempt to test Nangong Yuking's shapeshift great art powerful energy has been asked by surging sound. This golden core powerful energy is very weird, even if it touches a little, it is also a shock. Weisuo's look is completely serious, frowning, and feeling the side. If you are in the body of the ordinary golden core cultivator, I am afraid that a breathing time will cost nearly a year of life essence. A time to breathe, is it a loss of life essence for nearly a year? Ji Yat and Qi Longshan and others were taken aback and couldn't help but turn to look at Ling Longtian. Although even if Nangong Yuking is enough to display void walking step shapeshift great art, the real fight shapeshift great art, and certainly no shapeshift great art have been kept on the side of the opponent, a life essence breathing for a year, cannot cause fatal damage to the current great treasure most golden core cultivator, but now Nangong Yuking is just coagulation not golden core only, with cultivation base of ascension, this powerful energy and what kind of ascension? If it is between the moments, the other party will soon become aging, and the life lapses in the past 10 days. Many old antiques with little life essence are not instantly killed. As long as the golden core cultivation base is upgraded, the powerful energy of the Great Desolation Deo asking scripture will naturally increase. As long as you go to the cultivation base of the golden core 5th layer, you will at least let the other party pass the life essence for more than 10 years. If you are in Divine Mystic, in the face of the ordinary golden core cultivator, you can make the other person turn white and even blink instantly. And the scope of this powerful energy will naturally expand the great treasure. Ling Longtian knows that the people present are looking at themselves, but they want to know more about the exact message of shapeshift great art, and she has nothing to say, directly. It's amazing to have to live for decades, and for a few years in the presence of cultivator. Even Weisuo has to sigh that the spirit race and the desert treasure of the desert race can be unimaginable. When I want to fight shapeshift great art, even if I can't kill each other, I use void walking step shapeshift great art from time to time. After a few face-to-face, I cut off the life essence of the other party for decades. It is enough to make the other person completely chill. Just missing a Tathagata divine glow. Weisuo flashed this thought in his heart. This movement, shapeshift great art, is also a flaw in nature. It can only be melee. In particular, there is no desolate race great treasure. It can only rely on the strong grade of Nangong Yuking. Treasure's defenses include shapeshift great art great treasure and shapeshift great art, but with the addition of Tathagata divine glow, this flaw simply doesn't exist. Tathagata divine glow is definitely no less than the supreme strong shapeshift great art of the shapeshift great art, the divine consciousness of the gods of the desolate race. Tathagata divine glow, void walking step shapeshift great art, and the natural origin chi shapeshift great art of great desolation Deo asking scripture are powerful energy, plus the temperament of the shapeshift great art great treasure. Ancient Ling Longtian at that time, the spirit race great treasure was perfect, and there was no flaw at all. But such a spirit race great treasure can, in the era of Ling Longtian, not at all many other heaven-shaking cultivators, many of the spirit race and deserty race great treasure, the cultivation world of that era, those of top-grade character, heavenly emperor, great treasure, it is enough to be awesome. Han Weiwei, your golden core, come out and see what kind of powerful energy you can have. West's clean colored glass is also a supreme gong shapeshift great art. After marveling at the great desolation Deo asking scripture, the attention of everyone on the scene was immediately concentrated on Han Weiwei. Alright. After seeing the golden core of Nangong Yuking, Han Weiwei couldn't help but want to see his own golden core. After nodding, she immediately sacrificed her golden core. So amazing ice-cold breath. No wonder this is that shapeshift great art is mimicking some kind of great treasure. The shapeshift great art field, after breaking through divine mystic, the divine might itself is like a divine domain. Ice spiritual root, she is ice spiritual root, so I get more secret places, and this golden core powerful energy is even more amazing. Han Weiwei's golden core was sacrificed and everyone was taken aback. I saw that Han Weiwei's golden core is completely like a transparent ice bead. But when you look closely, it seems to be an ice white bud world. It seems that there are a lot of ice white bud falling from the void. Then disappeared without a trace, mysterious is hard to say. And her golden core seems to be slightly more precious than Nangong Yuking's golden core, and the naked body is amazingly cold. One sacrifice, but also did not stimulate any powerful energy. The entire quiet room has already begun to form a layer of frost, turned into an ice cave. Look at what the golden core is like. Han Weiwei was very excited. Under the shock of golden core, it directly inspired golden core sunlight. One side of colored glass world. Like the Western legend of the Buddha, it is no wonder called West's clean colored glass. All of them were surprised to see that Han Weiwei's golden core sunlight is a magnificent macro treasure. Ice color condense a small world, there are mountains and rivers, and many palaces, all shining with glazed glaze. What happened? Han Weiwei just provoked the golden core sunlight. Suddenly, the surprise look on Han Weiwei's face suddenly solidified. Her naked body suddenly slammed, and a layer of cold suddenly gushed from her naked body. In an instant, even her eyebrows and her head appeared with ice. Han Weiwei, what's wrong with you? Wei Suo instantly changed his face, and a true Yuan wrapped Han Weiwei. In the meantime, Han Weiwei was frozen and the golden core sunlight disappeared. Even the golden core was controlled without shapeshift great art. My true Yuan and Qi and blood are freezing fast, I do not know how it is. Han Weiwei the teeth are shaking between words. Wei Suo's heart was also chilling at the same time, making his scalp a bit numb. His divine consciousness swept away, only to feel that an extremely icy atmosphere in Han Weiwei's naked body was growing rapidly. West's clean-colored glass. Wei Suo intuition, let him always have some faint things about shapeshift great art, and finally gave birth at this moment. What the hell is going on? How can there be such a cold explosion? Weiwei, how are you? Suddenly such a change, all the ready-made people suddenly changed their face and became confused. It should be a flaw in the shapeshift great art itself. If you want to do shapeshift great art right away, her true Yuan and Qi and blood will soon freeze completely. Ling Longtian's surging sound sounded immediately. This surging sound makes everyone almost breathe and his face is white. If true Yuan and Qi and blood are completely frozen, then the vitality will be completely stopped and it will fall. How come so weird, old Lu, who was rushing to Hanwei with the rest of the crowd, suddenly had a surging sound and an incredible exclamation. Shua! Everyone's eyes suddenly gathered on him. This is Qi of Primordial Yin. Qi of Primordial Yin is amazing. How can this shapeshift great art form such an amazing Qi of Primordial Yin? Old Lu no lust condition urgent, immediately quickly set up, some female cultivator because of its own naked body quality reasons, Yin Qi will be too heavy, such as 9 Yin vanishing veins, snow W height but female ice body primordial Yin Qi is too heavy, will cause Qi and blood not, generally those primordial Yin Qi too heavy woman, like 9 Yin vanishing veins body, can only live on the number of 10 years old, will be Qi and blood soon weakened. This lust shape is exactly the opposite of what is called, the female Yin is not enough, then the vitality declines, the naked body loses nourishment, but the female Yin is too much, just. When is this all the time, you still say what these things do, how to save a study of the restrictions array of shapeshift great art, but also the old man who looked at the excitement could not help but screamed and interrupted old Lu. Origin Qi in the primordial Yin Qi and blood is very different from true Yuan. Now Qi is obviously a defect of this kind of shapeshift great art. The formation of primordial Yin Qi, I am afraid that even this specialization will solve this disease. Immortal level medicine pill has no shapeshift great art. What? Unless there is dual cultivation, shapeshift great art, Yunyang manifestation, and its two amazing Yin Yuan in her naked body. Old Lu glanced at Wei Suo and said quickly. Ah, hearing the old Lu, all the faces were completely white but at the moment I heard the old Lu, all the people were stunned and then a little dumbfounded. With your flesh and primordial yang, should be okay, if you change other Dao companion, I am afraid it will be difficult. What makes Han Wei almost fainted is that old Lu also looked at Wei Suo and added the sentence. Fellow Daoist, dual culture, H. BSP. Chapter 968 is what you should be able to. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Path to Heaven. Author, Wu Zy. Chapter 969. In a quiet room in a large city beside another huge ice lake in the silent continent, the eyes of Wei Suo and Lu Bao were the same as the eyes of the young man in Chinese clothes. They were glowing, but not divine light, but hair. Bright golden light. It was as if Wei Suo had only 7 or 8 inferior spirit stones in total in Lingyu City, and suddenly saw 100,000 inferior spirit stones piled in his house. There is really no way to do it. This time the harvest is really amazing. The crystal clear fairy tears canister and the life and death book with purple in the white are being held by Ling Longtian and watched. In addition to these two things, all the other treasures filled this already large quiet room. All kinds of amazing auras flooded the entire quiet room. If it were not Wei Suo who specially arranged an array of forbidden auras and vitality fluctuations in this quiet room, otherwise there must be a skyrocket above the quiet room, which can be seen in 100 miles. Hundreds of treasures that had previously flown out of the reincarnation tower, when distributed, the treasures of the Huangpu family and Zhen Lizong side were first collected by the Huangpu family owner, and the treasure of the Yehua family was by Yehua. If Ruoxing was collected, Huangpu's head and Yehua Ruoxing all fell, and Nebeo's capsules all fell into Wei Suo's hands, so the hundreds of treasures in the reincarnation tower, except for those that were removed by Jian Patriarch outside of that 10%, the rest of the 7, 10 or 8 all fell into the hands of Wei Suo, a total of 200 or dozens. These flying treasures are the accumulation of the five-fold peak power of Shenqian who arranged the reincarnation tower. It is estimated that many treasures are the things that this unknown Shenqian power used in different stages of cultivation, the lowest of which all are the treasures of the spirit rank middle class. There are more than 60 treasures above Dao level, and more than 30 treasures above Xian level. Previously, Wei Suo captured the hand, and the sapphire bracelet and the purple phoenix dagger capital that exude amazing green glow are among them. In addition to the treasures in these reincarnation towers, the three sects of Zhenlizang, Huangpu's family, and Great Han Palace together have fallen to at least 200 monks. The number of treasures dropped on them is also amazing. In addition to the treasures that were completely destroyed by the various supernatural powers in that terrifying battle, there were a total of nearly 500 treasures. And this time the three major forces have fallen from the top figures, and the quality of the treasures and weapons is not low. Of the nearly 500 intact treasures, only dozens are below the spirit level, and the rest are above the spirit level. There are nearly 70 treasures above the Tao level. The number of treasures above the Dao level can reach so many, it is already extremely amazing. To know the sect like the zombie sect, the treasures above the Dao level were counted by one hand. Xuanhuan family, Great Han Palace and Huangpu family, these three powerful forces are indeed deeper than the several super-large gates of Tianqian continent, and after these three powerful forces have secretly conspired for a long time, they have nothing but benefits. Not recovered, almost one of the treasures in the reincarnation tower has not been brought back, on the contrary, so many repairs have fallen into amazing powers, monks, it is no wonder that these three forces have been almost crazy, amazing rewards to kill Wisa. This time does not count the treasure above the Dao level. If you just take out all the treasures and tools on the Ling level and below, you can sell at least tens of millions of inferior spirit stones. In addition to the spirit stones in the treasure pockets of these monks and some demon or monster material that Weizhuo did not use, it is estimated that 50 million lower grade spirit stones can be obtained. In addition to these treasures, Wei Suo also obtained an iron lotus suit and an iron lotus spear from Yehua Yingtian. The iron lotus suit and the iron lotus spear should be created by the same Xianda Nang, flowing a mysterious silver divine pattern, which has almost the same defensive power as the immortal net bottle, and the Shen Xianda Nang can be built in it. The silver divine pattern also allows the armor and the spear to not be damaged when encountering more powerful power. It seems that only the power that can't withstand it will be added to the use of the monk, which is very unique. These two things are also very useful to Wei Suo. Putting on this iron lotus suit with his current flesh, without using other techniques, if it is combined with Dongxue Buletin's physical combat, it can be called a piece. Humanoid fairy soldiers. Needless to say, the life and death books obtained from the imperial family. Besides, he also received several magical pills from the imperial family of several monks of the imperial family to break through Jin Dangxiu's time. And even got a purple fox flower. In this way, when Nangang Yuking and Han Weiwei and others broke through Jindan, the chances of success would be increased. In addition, Wei Suo also got a pair of chaotic green cow horns and 2 corpses of ancient mysterious monsters. There were 3 things floating in front of Wei Suo and Bao Lao, who was very proud and laughing. The largest one in the middle is a pair of chaotic green cow horns. One horn has the size of a thigh. It is extremely vigorous. The appearance looks like bluestone from the far, very rough, but when it is close, you can feel the inner it contains amazing aura, as if there is a divine fountain flowing in it. A light blue aura exudes a trace of light, and even a line of divine-like light lines is formed, which is shocking. This pair of chaotic green cow's horns is the legendary elixir of magic, and it feels as if they have already interwoven their own unique vitality. On the left side of a pair of huge chaotic green cow horns, there is a green spar of the same turquoise, but extremely dark color, and even a little black. This green spar was taken by Weizhuo from the remains of the ancient spirit eater. I searched the whole ancient bitter beast, and Wei Suo did not find the existence of Yaodan and other beads. Only this piece was found to be similar to the green spar he used to cultivate the immortal vine and Kingxu vine, but the color was deep. Several times the green spar. On the right side of the chaotic green cow's horns, there are several pieces of demon pill. This demon pill can be the size of a watermelon, and the color is extremely mottled, black, gray, purple, red, white, Many colors are mixed together, positive it was the unknown black-haired old antique that was finally played, but it was a demon pill shattered by the divine power of the ancient emperor corpse. This fairy pill gave Wei Suo a very strange feeling. It felt like a combination of Yao Dan and Jin Dan who was lost by this ancient monster, and Wei Suo's sense of fairy root was very keen at the moment. Among the fragmented demon pills, there is an aura rising, which is actually like a rare pill. Could you please stop laughing, and have laughed for half the incense for a long time? Ling Longtian had already studied the Xiantier's small jar and the Book of Life and Death at this time, and he was very depressed and white. A glance at the old man in green robe, good news and bad news, which one do you want to hear first? If anyone heard Ling Longtian's words at this moment, they would surely fall to the ground, and Wei Suo and Lu Bao, the pair of living treasures, had already laughed so incredulously for half an incense for so long. Okay, listen to the bad first, then bitter, and then sweet. Wei Suo finally stopped his complacent smile and looked at Ling Long Heavenly Dao. There are a dozen words missing in the Book of Life and Death, and every few words in this Book of Life and Death seem to represent a divine tattoo. Anyway, my realm is not enough. For the time being, I have not realized the divine pattern recorded in the Book of Life and Death. Long Longtian grinned at his teeth and said this in disdain. He didn't seem to want to say anything to this upstart. Ah! That's not terrible, Wei Suo suddenly screamed. Sorry for you, some of the great powers of our time were able to enlighten and perform the complete scripture and the entire avenue of God from a broken or half of the scriptures or half of the gods. Ling Longtian snorted. If you can achieve that level one day, it will be nothing if you lack a dozen words. Then it is estimated that at least Shenxian Wushong is too heavy, Wei Suo exaggerated. It depends on the person. Some people are stupid, and even the true fairy fivefold does not necessarily have that ability. Ling Longtian sneered. What's the good news? Wei Suo suddenly rolled his eyes and said. The good news is that among these fairy soldiers, there is indeed a spirit array. Ling Longtian glanced at the old man in the green robe. Although the old man's vitality does not control this thing but at least this fairy soldier's weapon array. It can completely supplement the vitality he needs every day, so that he can contain it. That's not that the old man can come out during the day, don't have to put away when fighting, don't be afraid of being damaged, Wei Suo suddenly surprised. And the eyes of the old man in the green robe had lightened completely. Why, isn't this good news? Ling Longtian snorted again. Good news. Of course it is good news. The old man in green robe was very excited, and cried, how do I get it, how do I control the array? This is the spirit array of our time, you are good, as long as it is integrated into this formation. Don't touch other formations. Ling Longtian who had turned out a purple light, condensing a formation roughly. Look. Can I try now? The old man in green robe looked at the formation carefully and asked immediately. Now many times the old man in the green robe is because Wei Suo's opponents are getting higher and higher. The shock of the energy is enough to shake the ghost tank and can only shrink in the Naveo bracelet together with the ghost tank. Many the rare fighting scenes and treasures are not seen when they are seen. Now if we change the Xiantier's canister, it will be completely different. The real immortal soldier, the ancient emperor's body may not be able to break through, and the vitality can be supplemented, even during the day, which is a great thing for him and Wei Suo. Of course Ling Long nodded. She was much more polite to the old man in green robe. After the old man in the green robe calmed down a little bit, I saw that he immediately turned into a green light, and entangled it fast on the small pot of fairy tears, but the green light was hidden between several breaths. He disappeared into the crystallized Xiantier's canister. Wa ha ha ha. Immediately, the figure of the old man in the green robe emerged from the crystal canister, and he laughed with great excitement. As Ling Longtian said, he became a member of the Xiantier's small pot of spirits. Now he can be said to be the magical spirit of this extremely immortal soldier, and he is not afraid of the damage of the ghost tank. We are so small that it is simply not enough to change anything. Therefore, he returned to insensitivity. What kind of life do we want? How should people live? Is there something wrong with our society? Why do people's hearts become more and more unstable and restless? Subhealth, mental illness, confusion, boredom, loneliness, suicide, homicide, crime, etc. are becoming more common among young people. Why? Should we set up to change society? All great writers and great works are closely related to the pulse of the times. They reflected the confusion of the youth of that era, and the confusion of the people of that era. They have to shout and crash around in the cage. They have to break the cage and call for a new way of life that fits the human body and spirit. Even if no definite direction is given, we must pass through the mist and point us to a golden heart that gives us hope and confidence. Path to Heaven. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 970. I'll try this chaotic green cow's horn to see that the old man in the green robe was successfully buried in the fairy tear small pot, and Wei Suo's eyes first gathered on the chaotic green cow's horn. This time the light is all the magic orders and magic tools below and above the spirit order, plus the spiritual stones and things that Wei Suo did not use on the monks themselves. It is estimated that 50 million lower grade spirit stones can be obtained. The vitality of the chaotic green cow's horn and the legendary general shocking words, then the resources he collected this time, so that he can directly break through to the two levels of Shenqian is not necessarily. Laugh. Between the words, Wei Suo didn't hesitate, a strong real element and aura of water spirit, constantly flushed onto the chaotic green cow's horn, and pulled out a light blue aura. Now that his real Ji-Dao immortal soldier is in hand, the higher the cultivation level, the stronger Ji-Dao divine prestige can be played. He can't be reached, so ascension is the most important thing for him. The trace of light blue aura drawn directly was swallowed in by a ghost image of the water above Wei Suo's head. Boom. But almost at the same time, Wei Suo's body was shocked, as if it was struck violently by the invisible hammer. The silver divine light on his body was scattered, and more than 10,000 points of the body were opened, even the body itself. A lot of vitality and water spirit breath in the body were shocked. What happened? Such a reaction made the old man in green robe and Ling Longtian unexpectedly, both were surprised. I'm doing it, and I almost asked for my old life. No wonder if Yehuaruoxing didn't need to get it. It was said that it would take a couple of Jindan's help to refine it. Wei Suo rolled his eyes in frustration. The vitality in the chaotic green cow's horns actually turned into a unique power of law, almost half a god. Just the slightest strength of this hair's thin hair, when he was drawn into the body and convulsed during the refining, was almost the same as the Xuanhuan resurrection of his life and death. Actually, such a powerful force has already emerged in the vitality. It seems that this pair of chaotic green cow horns existed at least in ancient times. If they exist for a long time, I am afraid they will evolve into something equivalent to a fairy. After Wei Suo explained a few words, Ling Longtian and the old man in green robe couldn't help but revisit the chaotic green cow. These two well-known old antiques are very clear. Some of the world's elixir of amazing aura, after a long period of time, because of the amazing changes in the aura, will naturally evolve a unique jurisdiction, and finally fall into the monk. Words in your hand will also become real fairy soldiers who can play a huge magical power. But this pair of chaotic green cow's horns, like the flat ruler in that elementary magnetic mountain, has not been completely formed, otherwise its vitality will be completely changed, and it will become a world of its own. To revitalize the vitality of it, it seems to be careful when refining, otherwise it is really going to burst. Directly after rolling his eyes, Wei Suo carefully felt the vitality of this chaotic green cow's horn. Boy, how is it? The medicine is not astonishing. The old man in green robe saw Wei Suo's eyes flashing, and knew that he was experiencing the amount of that vitality. He couldn't help but immediately asked, looking at him, this pair of chaotic green cow horns is a pair of elixir, so he directly asked how much medicine. This is estimated to be almost a 4th level low-level water demon pill. I don't know how much silken energy these two pairs of horns can pull out. Wei Suo swallowed, obviously also very surprised. This thin hair is equivalent to a 4th level low-level water demon pill. The old man in green robe suddenly breathed a sigh of air. I'm afraid that there are more than 2 divine phoenixes. So much, Ling Longtian's brows couldn't help but jump to her feeling. The trace of vitality that was just extracted seemed to be only 9 cattle and 1 hare, and a chaotic green cow's horn could extract an amazing amount of vitality. Sell this pair of chaotic green bull horns and all the things below your level that are not used in your body to buy water demon pill and elixir. I would also like to try to refine this kind of thing. When the old man in green robe saw Wei Suo's eyes turn to the old black-haired antique, which had broken into a few pieces of color-modeled demon, he immediately couldn't help but say, "These things feel very strange to me, and they also look like a magic pill." After Wei Suo said this, a breath of vitality and water spirit also washed up on one of the smallest broken demon pill. Boom! Immediately, a tumult of vitality was washed out and poured into Wei Suo's body. Immediately, Wei Suo's body seemed to open more than 10,000 mouths, and he kept spitting out the mixed breath. Is it really like a panacea? The old man in green robe and the face of Ling Longsky looked at each other. Although both of them felt that there were many unfavorable impurities in the vitality of the modeled demon, they also felt that the amount of useful vitality refined by Wei Suo was also at the same time extremely amazing. Hiss! Wei Suo couldn't help but take a deep breath, a look of surprise in his eyes. This demon pill left by this black-haired old monster turned out to be like a pill, and it could be directly refined. Although the vitality has been lost by the ancient emperor's body, but the remaining useful vitality, I am afraid it's still much stronger than a divine phoenix stone pill. The black monster with black hair, but gave him too much surprise. In the wilderness, there is actually such a fusion with the monk Jindan, and the metamorphosis of the demon is directly like the demon of the spirit demon. Maybe the Xianda Neng sealed these two kinds of monsters at that time, just want to keep them for their own use in the future. Both the old man in green robe and Ling Longtian came up with this kind of thought. This kind of monster has never heard of it with the knowledge of the two. I don't know if this thing can still be used to cultivate elixir, and I don't know if it will have any unique effect. Wei Suo felt that the strength of the broken demon pill would be constantly lost, so he simply continued to cast water. The emperor devoured the sun, constantly washing all the fragmented demon pill, refining and cultivating, absorbing the vitality and practicing at the same time. He also collected the peculiar green crystal that was taken out of the ancient spirit eater. After that, Wei Suo took out the bodies of the ancient spirit eater and the old black hair monster again to check. The remaining vitality powers of the two ancient monsters are extremely powerful. Many parts of the body contain their unique vitality powers. Especially the old black hair monsters can't see any traces of monks. The black-haired skin is more amazing than the skin and bones of the ancient spirit eater. The skin and some bones of the ancient spirit eater are estimated to be able to be refined into a half-magic weapon. The black-haired skin of this old black monster is estimated to be able to be refined to a level of power and blue ancient oil lamp, which is close to immortal things. After studying with the old man of green robe and Ling Longtian for a while, the three decided to refine the epidermis of the ancient spirit eater and the old black hair into a vestment, and some bones in the ancient spirit eater into an offensive magic weapon. If these things are refined, coupled with the large number of magic weapons above the Xian order obtained by Wei Suo this time in the reincarnation tower, this time the magic weapons on Jia and Shui Linger can be improved by 1 grade. After sorting out what was on hand, Wei Suo took out 2 pieces of memoirs. God of War. Rotation to the magic of the town. Among these 2 pieces of memoirs, the one recorded on the Grey Jade platform is a skill and a spell left by the Xianda Neng because of fear of forgetting, so Wei Suo and Ling Longtian left the reincarnation tower, just record the memorized scriptures and catalogs first. While constantly cultivating the strange demon pill cultivation of the old black hair monster, Wei Suo realized the skill, and a skill essence is transformed into armor. It's really a melee technique, suppression of the jurisdiction. This is also a supreme strong method. Soon, Wei Suo's face appeared shocked again. The King's Battle is a very peculiar supreme true elemental practice. The true element practiced by this practice is actually integrated with the whole body and blood, and the true element and blood are actually integrated, which is equivalent to at this time, only the true elements flowed in the body, and when facing the enemy, the monks who practiced this exercise could cover the true elements, and they could transform a layer of true elemental armor and a giant battle axe on their bodies. Looking at the commentary of the scriptures, this king's mad battle is determined when the true ingot armor and the giant axe are turned into can instantaneously explode, much more powerful than usual. This skill is equivalent to the combination of true elements and melee techniques, fighting close combat. And the magic of the rotation of the town is a rare repressive secret method, which can play a magic power and confine people in a certain area. Just seeing the meaning of these two ancient scriptures, Wei Suo can imagine the scene when the famous Xiando was able to fight the enemy. First, a self-rotating Tianzhen magic confined the other party in a void, and then wrapped the supreme treasure in an instant. A, holding a giant axe in a tremendous battle, bullied the other side, slashed with an axe, and beheaded. Taking Wei Suo's current practice as an example, it is naturally not suitable to change the method and recultivate, and then practice this King's Battle. After all, see the comment of the King's Battle. There are still many restrictions on this true elemental practice. Just like the consumption of qi and blood, if the true loss is too great, there is a danger of falling. However, this practice is very suitable for Ye Xiaozheng's cultivation, because Ye Xiaozheng said to Wei Suo before, he really wants this kind of melee fighting skills and techniques. As for the rotation of Tianzhen magic, Wei Suo can use it, so he did not carefully comprehend the king's mad warfare, but fully realized the rotation of Tianzhen magic. Path to Heaven. Author, Wu Ziyi. Chapter 971. A yellow-faced man hurriedly walked into a house covered by a yellow aura. This residence is just a 3-story pavilion carved by Xianbing, with an open space in front. Lord. The yellow-faced man entered the residence and immediately spoke, as if to report something to the man in the pavilion, but he said a word, and the caw sounded softly. His whole person was suddenly wrapped in a light yellow crystal light and became immobile. The light yellow crystal light outside him formed a light yellow crystal-like lotus flower. Click. The crystal lotus that sealed him inside shattered and disappeared without a trace. Ah! The yellow-faced man's mouth was closed, and he shouted in fear. No more shouting, I just tried that technique fa casually, there was no harm. A voice came from the pavilion, and the light flashed immediately, and the figures of Wei Suo and Ling Longtian appeared in the pavilion. Doorway. Master, your supernatural power is really unimaginable. After the mouth of the yellow-faced man closed, he immediately patted on the S. Okay, are you rushing back in such a hurry? Is there any news? Wei Suo suddenly rolled his eyes and looked at the yellow-faced man. It turned out that this yellow-faced man was Dragon Jupiter. The Huangpu families Huangpu Tianxi and Huangpu Yuqi were released after he was abolished, but Long Juxing knew too much. Wei Suo originally thought take this person back to the Yunling continent and wait until his cultivation has been greatly improved before releasing it. The old man in the green robe was too troublesome to look at this matter, and it would not be easy to directly shut it off, but Wei Suo thought that he was a credible profiteer. Will do it. But what surprised Wei Suo unexpectedly was that when he heard the rumors on the way, he knew what happened, and he cried and shouted that Wei Suo should be respected, and that he should be the main, and said that Wei Suo would be sure in the future. There are amazing achievements, and it is definitely good to follow him wholeheartedly. Originally, Wei Suo didn't want such a timid and selfish guy to follow him. He knew that Dragon Jupiter wanted to recognize himself as his master, and there was another most important reason for being willing to be his servant, because this time the ancient emperor Shi set off. In the face of the shocking storm, the ancient emperor Shi was one of them who went to the Tianqian continent, and when he was left alone, he would definitely have no good ending. However, Long Juxing himself is willing to give Jin Dan, so that Wei Suo planted a more powerful system. As long as he betrays Wei Suo in the future, Wei Suo will think of him as a king, thinking of any more Jin Dan anyway. It's not a bad thing for the two younger brothers. It's okay to let this person do some troubles. Then return to the desert island cave, let this person run errands, or stay in the desert island cave. So Wei Suo still accepted this timid guy. In order to avoid being noticed, Wei Suo did not let this guy show his head too much, just let him go out to pay attention to the bulletin board in the city and listen to the news of other people's conversations along the way. Master, you are really a magical machine at this time. Dragon Jupiter can be said to be really selfish to Wei Suo. He already knew that the real fairy was in Wei Suo's hand, and Wei Suo's magical power had already let he was overwhelmed by the heart, and the skill Fa just played by Wei Suo did not let him have any counter-attack power at all. He was sealed inside and could not move, and it must be a supreme secret Fa. After shooting this fart again, Dragon Jupiter said quickly, Master, the young man in the mysterious Hui suit was found, and he was chased by Sha in Xianbing City today. Wounded with a heritage Fa device, and then escaped. Now many people are rushing to the vicinity of Xianbing City and want to search for the trace of this person. Xianbing City? We can get there within a day. Past. Let's look at it again. After glancing at Ling Longtian, Wei Suo said this, and at the same time reached out a hand and pointed out a quaint brass bell. You're doing well. This one is one of the Great Han Palace, a piece of Suanja middle grade Fa treasure with one offensive and defensive. Reward you, but don't use it during this time in the Silent Continent. Janiu Tongling. This is one of the famous Fa treasures of the Great Han Palace. Thank you for your reward. Long Juxing saw Wei Suo point to the bronze bell in front of him, and he shuddered all over his body. He immediately overjoyed and thanked him. The Fa treasure of Suanja Zongpan is already a great thing for monks of his level. This time he really felt that following Wei Suo was really good. Master, you, but Wei Suo's movement caused Long Juxing to stop. At this time, Wei Suo's hands nigh gave a watery hua light to his face, but it turned into a very yin jun, even the breath was similar, and then Wei Suo took out a black-gray wearing a robe. If it weren't for Long Juxing Qin's sight of Wei Suo Shifa, he must have thought that the extremely prodigal who was procrastinating stood before his eyes. Private trader, you want to swindle and blame. As soon as we saw Wei Suo dressed up as a very yin god, Ling Longtian immediately knew what he wanted to do and whispered. This traitor, it's too cheap for him not to blame anything on him. Wei Suo thought that the yin yin Zhenjun ran faster than Zhe, he was very shuang. If it weren't for Likey God to fight his own fall and issue the strongest blow, his life would be in danger. Let's go. After pretending to be a very yin god, Wei Suo no longer stayed. He directly escaped the light and took Ling Long Sky and Dragon Jupiter to the sky. Then he directly cast the Water Emperor's decision, no stop cultivating the demon pill who washed the old black hair monster. The vitality among these pieces of fragmented demon is very amazing, but there are also many impurities that are unfavorable and unfavorable. Under a large amount of vitality buttocks, a thick colorful cloud is formed outside the three people. Among them, there is only a majestic pressure unique to Shen Xian Yuan Qi, which emerges from this cloud of barren clouds. Poof, after more than 1 hour, a few pieces of the demon devil were completely refined by Wei Suo, and the last small piece was completely decomposed into a colorful, like a miasma, a mass of vitality, was Wei Suo thoroughly refined. Let me take a half step, it's not bad. Steel Tooth Girl, please take us to fly. I will continue to practice with the chaotic green cow's horn. Wei Suo took a chaotic green cow's horn after taking a moment to feel it carefully. Come out, wrapped in a mass of vitality, without revealing it, and said to Ling Longtian Xuanhuan. The effectiveness of the old black monster demon pill is still above his expectations. Since the last refining of the things obtained in Kaibao Garden and all the water demon pill and elixir acquired by Ning Danfang, some of them have been improved. In Wei Suo's mind, he naturally divided 10 steps between Shenxian first and Shenxian second. Last time, refining so many things was only equivalent to taking 1 step. This black hairy monster demon, but it also made him take a half step, at least equivalent to the effectiveness of tens of thousands of ordinary water demon and spirit pill. Now Wei Suo wants to complete the remaining half of this second step before going to Xianbing City, so that there are only about 8 steps left from Shenxian Duo, so that he can also have a sense of accomplishment and feel Shenxian the two are not far away. It's just that every trace of vitality in the chaotic green cow's horns contains Han's powerful power. Every time a trace of vitality is extracted, it is equivalent to being impacted by the Xian level Fa weapon once, so he will not do it in the next practice. Fa's escape technique can only be carried by Ling Longtian. Humfling Longtian hummed and said nothing, emitting purple escape light, rolling Wei Suo and Dragon Jupiter to continue to move at a very fast speed, and at the same time she nibbled from time to time with click a couple of fine gold. This time, she also got a lot of benefits. It is estimated that the fine gold she can get will allow her to practice for a long time, and her strength will definitely increase by 1 grade. Boom. 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 Every trace of the chaotic green cow's horns was drawn out. When refining, Wei Suo's body was violently shaken, the vitality was simmering, and the speed of purple escape light was amazing in the middle. There is a big drum ringing constantly. The aura of this chaotic green cow is so amazing, and after more than 1 hour, a look of shock and surprise appeared on Wei Suo's face. Although the power impact of this chaotic green bull's horn makes him very uncomfortable, the vitality of the chaotic green bull's horn and that of the black-haired old monster demon are also very easy to refine. This refining after a long time has let him go. The remaining half step, from Shenxian first to Shenxian second, fully improved by 10%. But the vitality of this chaotic green cow's horns turned out not to cost much. That is to say, the vitality of this chaotic green cow's horns is much more amazing than Weizhuo, Ling Longtian, and the old man in green robe. In other words, some of the legendary records are simply wrong. This kind of age is extremely ancient, and even the chaotic green cow treasure horn that has formed its own unique Fa domain power has more than the power of a few divine phoenix stone pills after Weizhuo's breakthrough to Shenxian. He is truly like a bottomless hole. According to his last experience, from Shengxuan's first to twofold, 1 of the 10 steps is cultivated, and the vitality required it takes almost 4 more potions of divine phoenix Shiden. Now this half step must be at least equivalent to the power of 2 divine phoenix stone pills. And now in this chaotic green cow horn, there seems to be more than half of the vitality, giving Wei Suo the feeling that a chaotic green cow horn in his hand is probably equivalent to the power of 10 divine phoenix stone pills. Calculated in this way, this pair of chaotic green bull horns, I am afraid that at least can make him go from Shenxian first weight to Shenxian double weight, and then take another 4 steps. In this way, when he reaches Shenxian, he only has the last 40% to cultivate. The results of this judgment shocked Wei Suo beyond belief. He immediately continued to refine this chaotic green cow horn. After more than an hour, Wei Suo stopped and couldn't help but take a deep breath, trying to calm his mind. After this multi-hour practice, he took another half step on the road from Shenxian to Shenxian, and it was indeed right. At this moment, among the chaotic green cow horns wrapped in his vitality, there are at least half of the vitality remains. If Yahuaruoxing can completely refine these 2 chaotic green cow horns, I am afraid that at least I will directly break through to the cultivation of Shenxian in the later period, but it is a pity that this thing finally fell on my hands. Wei Suo Deep 11 breathed a sigh of relief, while such thoughts flashed in his mind. At the end of his line of sight, a shadow of a large city had been vaguely revealed, and Xianbing City was almost there. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Path to Heaven. Author, Wu Ziwei. Chapter 972. Chapter 972 Seconds to Destroy Great Treasure. Someone is out. Just 2,000 miles from the secret place valley, Ling Longtian suddenly screamed a surging sound. In the dark clouds, lightning and thunder suddenly shot an escape light. Is it so far? Steel Teeth younger sister, don't expose it first, let me explore what the other party is. Wei Suo browed and slid a few tens of feet away from Ling Longtian. The body was squirting a purple divine mark, and the feeling immediately turned into a divine mystic third-layer great treasure of the culture ice. In the lust shape of the front to the secret place, with Wei Suo's eyesight, there is still no view of the valley. The other party must be the same as Yehua Yingtian. There is a unique technique that perceives him and Ling Longtian. Come over and cause a subtle change in inner chi. This is who? Why haven't you seen it before? Cultivation Thunder Attributes Cultivator, Divine Mystic Third Layer Initial Stage Cultivation Base. Divine Mystic Third Layer Great Treasure. Can you? Wei Suo saw the cultivator in the escape light at a glance, and then heard Ling Longtian's sound transmission, and was immediately taken aback. This shot from the mountain valley is actually a divine mystic great treasure wearing a golden jade clothing with a golden face and a gloomy look. This divine mystic great treasure can be older than 50 years old, with a narrow face and no need for white face. The white cold electricity is wrapped around the hair. It is also extremely majestic and one of the supreme style. This great treasure can be completely strange. Wei Suo and Ling Longtian have never seen it before. The golden beast that he peddled is not a great treasure, but a strong great treasure monster beast, like a lion shape, with a pair of short wings, a one-horned head on his head, covered with golden long hair, golden light on his body. Like the hot sun, a pair of eyes like a bronze bell, great treasure, staring at Wei Suo and Ling Longtian, is also a very noble and proud, not to put people in the eyes of the power. What is this monster beast? How have I never heard of it? This monster beast is too strong great treasure. It seems even more amazing than the golden core cultivator of the golden core 5th layer. This monster beast is made up of golden ho and some kind of Kirin intercourse. There is a strong great treasure of Kirin chi and blood, and the strength is probably close to the two ancient monster beasts in Samsara Tower. Ling Longtian's sound transmission and green-robed old man's great treasure are called surging sound, which also sounds almost simultaneously in Wei Suo's ears. AIDS_crew_ first name _Commonwealth _26 IDS_crew_ first name _Commonwealth _26. Sure enough. The layout of the little heavenly realm, plus the secret place of Zantai fellow deist, can really drive heaven's dome powerful energy. At this time, Virtue Sect Master and Immortal Ascension Sect Master and Zantai Linglan are located on the north side of the valley, on a white crystal platform. Even the usual face is always the Virtue Sect Master, which seems to be broken. Deo Xian, excited arrogance. In the valley, dozens of giant treasure pillars have all exuded a brilliance, connected together, and the entire valley has risen up to countless colors of various colors, suspended in the air, the grotesque, like a starry sky. Numerous spring-like brilliance, like water, permeates the entire valley. The rest of the Virtue Sect, Immortal Ascension Sect Cultivator, all secret places in the extreme shock, John Great Treasure Mouth cannot produce surging sound. A piece of crystal light radiating from heaven's dome, like the ancient ship that has come from ancient times, has already come to the top of the valley. The light characters that have risen in countless valleys have begun to be like butterflies, gathered in this piece. Above the milky white crystal, a mysterious atmosphere of the world has spread between the heavens and the earth, and the scenes radiated from the previous heaven's dome are so shocking that you can't be yourself. Divine Mystic Third Layer, the great treasure of the ice repair system. It is who I have never heard of. In front of Immortal Ascension sect master, a white mirror was also presented, showing the scene of the area where the secret place Wei Suo and the great treasure of the golden beast can be displayed in him and Virtue sect master. In front of people. Don't worry about him, Kong Julai's divine ability is amazing, and the mounts are close to divine mystic. It's not a problem to solve this person. It does not affect us. And Kong Julai itself was deceived by my words. This restrictions will be launched soon. Our cultivation base can be upgraded by everyone. He can't come back soon. Our cultivation base great treasure is improved, even if he finds that he has eaten great treasure. Great treasure, we are not afraid of him and culmination Purple Thunder sect. Virtue sect master is full of sorrows, completely out of its usual appearance, and emits a roar of low surging sound. Shua. With the entanglement of countless optical symbols, heaven's dome crystal light that first came to the top of this mountain valley, has begun to turn into a milky white origin chi, which is actually above the valley, forming a white man. This white-skinned villain is all a Dao Venerable sitting on the plate. If Ling Longtian sees it, he will definitely recognize the appearance of Dao Venerable, the face of the statue, and the void of her era. The appearance of Daoist is very similar. Where is fellow Daoist? How can it cause Heaven's Dome to be such a great treasure change? On the other hand, Wei Suo didn't stop at all. It was obviously close to the front to obviously block the great treasure of Jinda Jade clothing. He took the surging sound and explored the other side. The deity is culmination Purple Thunder sect Supreme Elder Lei Shuhan Junsu Julai. Who are you? The great treasure wearing the jade clothing can also come to Wei Suo. A pair of narrow eyes keep looking at the Ling Longtian behind Wei Suo and Wei Suo. Culmination Purple Thunder sect. This is Alioth Continent's super sect. Virtue sect and Immortal Ascension sect, even the super sect of Alioth Continent are united. Is it to join Alioth Continent's sect and swallow heavenly profound continent? Green-robed old man screamed when he heard the name Divine Mystic Great Treasure. Is Alatin Continent's great treasure? Wei Suo's eyes flash, the look on the face is nothing to wave, casually said, in the next season, Li, is the cultivator of Lonely Cold Continent. Lonely Cold Continent's cultivator? Such an ice system is certainly not a person of the Yuhua aristocratic family and the Zhangsun aristocratic family. There is no great background. This Liwen lord, Su Julai, stared at Wei Suo, his eyes blinking, and he didn't know what he was thinking. He didn't care about Ling Longtian. Small, their layout is to be inspired. It is the person of Virtue sect and Immortal Ascension sect. At this time, Wei Suo's brows a fierce jump, Ling Longtian a surging sound, a sharp surging sound, introduced into his ears. Thunder, kill. At this time, Lady Divine Lord has also completely decided to generalize, suddenly murderous intention mad, and issued a surging sound to the underside of the mount. Thunder Supreme. Wanlei mad. Between the screams, among the more than 10,000 of the Divine Lord's bodies, all of them shot divine might, and they played more than 10,000 divine mights, condensed into Dan, each one swaying heaven shaking the atmosphere. Each one is like a golden core cultivator with the thunder attribute condensed golden core. Booming and banging. After more than 10,000 golden core like thunder balls were played, they didn't spread out, they got together and condensed one. This thunder ball, only a fist like great treasure, but swaying the unimaginable terrifying thunder, like the lightning of the sky, has been swept over. Roar, at the same time. The golden beast under the divine lord of Lishu also issued a surging sound giant python, a golden light wave of a giant great treasure, which was almost instantly suppressed to Wei Suo's steel teeth younger sister, hands on, kill. Just as the divine lord broke out and shouted his own beast, Wei Suo also issued a surging sound. I actually want to kill me. Just because of you, I also want to stop me and the prisoners team. Lei Xiang Lord touched the hand and heard Wei Suo, which was also a surging sound, and under the sigh of relief, the sneer smirked at the corner of his mouth. Hey, but just as his sneer just surfaced on his face, his naked body was hammered by the invisible great treasure, violently trembled, and in the naked body, all of them shot countless thunder lights. There were countless cracks on the jade clothing, and all the pieces of jade flew up. It's actually supreme sound, powerful energy. In the hearts of Divine Lord and Weisuos, the incredible thoughts flashed at the same time. Because Weisuo's great treasure was directly suppressed by the Divine Lord, a powerful energy of the giant treasure also hit Weisuos. The golden beast under the foot of Divine Lord of Legion is actually a powerful energy like the great treasure. But the difference is that Weisuo's great treasure hits the body of Divine Lord, and the Divine Lord is beaten fiercely, but the speed is slower and slower. On the Weisuo side, the powerful energy hitting him, the great treasure was partially offset by the great treasure domain power in his naked body. His naked body was only a slight shock, and it was not hindered by many great treasures. Just rely on such a strange animal, I have not yet realized the power of the great treasure domain, but also want to kill me. OM. Weisuo sneered, directly hitting a round of lightning waning moon, shaking the world, colliding with the golden thunder ball from the back pressure, and the two powerful powers of the giant treasure were pressed against each other. Weisuo fully took the upper hand. Lightning waning moon, the remaining powerful energy pieces are crushed towards the Divine Lord. Roar. The golden beast under the Divine Lord of Legion spurted the golden treasure of the great treasure piece, and wanted to protect the Lord. But at this time, almost the same round of lightning waning moon, even directly through the power energy collision that has not disappeared, instantly arrived at the front of the Divine Lord and the golden beast. Ah! How, even the great treasure of divine mystic fifth layer can't be played at the same time. It's too divine mystic divine might. The Divine Lord is stunned and unmanned, with numerous thunder light and divine mystic origin chi squirting out. Hong. But it was too late, and the powerful energy of the Divine Lord and the golden beasts underneath was all shattered. The Divine Lord and the golden beasts were all knocked out. How? Lightning waning moon, how could this person be at the same time, playing two lightning waning moon? In the valley where Virtue Sect and others are located, it is also completely shaken. Ah! The naked body of Divine Lord's body was split, countless blood and thunder light flying, and a group of divine mystic origin chi flew overhead and wanted to escape. But at this time, a purple light that he had not paid attention to before was rushing from one side and emitting a grey divine light. The spirit light on Divine Lord's body disappeared almost instantly. In the screaming surging sound, Ling Longtian's face without a lust hit, and the divine mystic origin chi and the naked body that he had pulled out of his head were completely torn apart. Roar. The golden beast of Divine Lord spurted out the monster core and seemed to be blasting out, kill, but at this time, with Weisuo's surging sound, a burst of pressure was also pressed against the monster beast, which was already cracked. The monster beast suddenly burst and sprang up. Countless gold in general blood. A divine mystic third layer great treasure can be combined with a strong great treasure monster beast and instantly combined by Weisuo and Ling Longtian. Path to Heaven. Author, Wu Ziyi. Chapter 973. Chapter 973 Heaven Subduing Immortal Pill. It's him. How could he still be alive? Ling Longtian took a shot, Virtue Sect Master, Immortal Ascension Sect Master, Zantai Linglan, all completely recognized, suddenly unbelievably smashed. Hong. Weisuo killed the Divine Lord in one fell swoop, no longer concealing any of his breath. Tru Yuan took a roll and directly collected the Divine Lord and the remains of the Golden Beast, and started the void walking. Step, full of strength across the void, approaching the valley where Virtue Sect Master and others are located. Ah! How could? Mortal body turns into wood, no one can block, he is not only alive, but also has reached the cultivation base of divine mystic second layer. How can there be an ice system divine mark outside his body? Ah, small, their layout, it turned out to be really, it has really been transformed into heaven's dome powerful energy, like a strong great treasure spirit pellet. Both sides are completely shocked. Wei Suo sees that at this moment, there are dozens of crystal columns of Ponte great treasure in the valley. Numerous colorful ancient characters rise from the ground and the crystal columns, and they constantly shoot into heaven's dome. A piece of milky white crystal light. Origin Chi, which is scattered in the milky white crystal, floats above the valley. The condense is a milky white Deo Venerable, and the spiritual Chi is amazing. It is like a single spirit pellet. Among the valleys, there are at least 5 cultivators, all of whom are important figures of Virtue Sect and Immortal Ascension Section. The Virtue Sect Master, Immortal Ascension Sect Master and Zantai Linglan are on a white jade platform. Pu. A milky white Deo Venerable suddenly settled, forming a white streamer, just on the Virtue Sect Master. Pu puff puff. Immediately, all the milky white Deo Venerable began to fall like a ripe fruit. The milky white Deo Venerable above the white jade is slightly denser, and the rest of the valley has secret places, and there are also milky Deo Venerable falling. For a time, many cultivators, like the Virtue Sect Master, were just in the milky white Deo Venerable. Chi. Milky Deo Venerable. A glimpse of these people, magnificent light flashes, directly into the naked body of these cultivators, issued spiritual Chi violent surging sound, and all the cultivators in the shackles are naked body a fierce shock, the face showed an unusual shock and a feverish look, the body's breath, immediately climbed up in a section. Hong. The atmosphere of a Virtue Sect brother at the top of a golden core second layer was even drastically changed. Dang Guang dazzled, and it was directly from the golden core second layer peak to the golden core third layer. Each of these creamy Deo Venerables contains an amazing spiritual Chi, and each one looks like an immortal level spirit pellet. The densely priced immortal level spirit pellet, like a ripe fruit, falls from the sky. Puff 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 puff. The cultivator and cultivation base in each milky white Deo Venerable are growing at an alarming rate. Ah! After a slight loss of life, the Virtue Sect and Immortal Ascension Sect cultivator in all the valleys are all crazy. Everyone is desperately welcoming the milky Deo Venerable falling above, and many people even issued True Yuan, great treasure, and want to roll as much milky Deo Venerable as possible. But what shocks everyone is that these milky Deo Venerable seem to have an unspeakable space, just like walking through the void, issuing True Yuan and great treasure, no filming at all. A lot of milky Deo Venerable directly from the brilliance of True Yuan and great treasure fell to the ground, disappeared between the Ming and the Han. In addition to the milky white Deo Venerable on the cultivator, even if you use the naked body to hit, there is no interception of those milky Deo Venerable. AIDS_crew_ first name _Commonwealth _26 IDS_crew_ first name _Commonwealth _26. For a time, many people's naked body was smashed by the milky white Deo Venerable, and many people did not get one. Everyone was screaming, and the secret place was the shock of the cultivation base. It turned out to be. All are equivalent to heaven rank spiritual herb. IDS_crew_ first name _Commonwealth _26. Small, or else their cultivation base is crazy. In this scene, every thought of Wei Suo and Ling Longtian is trembled violently. The green-robed old man also issued a hysterical crazy treasure. Block him. Don't let him destroy, otherwise the cultivation base of all of us will be improved by at least 2 grades. Virtue Sect Master and was a white Deo Venerable smashed, the whole body naked bodies are instantly like bubbles in the nectar, body naked every tiny corner of the bodies like drinking the world good wine general, each hair tip are full of comfortable feeling, let Virtue Sect Master of the whole mind are comfortable trembling, see Wei Suo with terrifying of the momentum of madness rushed, Virtue Sect Master's face became unprecedented hideous, uttered a violent growl. Hong. The endless Buddha light is emitted from the body of Virtue sect master. A total of 16 gods and Buddhas, like 16 gods, are pressed against Weisuo. At this time, Virtue sect master has a distance of 700 to 800 miles from Weisuo. There is no precise lock at all. Weisuo has no hard fight, launching void walking step, directly avoiding this attack, and will have 16 gods and Buddhas leave behind. A Virtue sect cultivator gave a great surprise to the great treasure, the old man wearing a yellow robe robes from the cultivation base of the golden core 3rd layer to the golden core 4th layer. Immortal Ascension sect master is going to break through to divine mystic 3rd layer. At the same time, the sound transmission of Ling Longtian flies into Weisuo's ear. Immortal Ascension sect master was smashed by 5 or 6 milky white Deo venerable scorpions. The body of divine mystic swelled, and the whole person's skin glowed with white light. The attraction of a giant treasure began to burst from it. Out. At this moment, almost everyone in the valley has been more or less milky Deo venerable, Virtue sect and Immortal Ascension sect, and everyone's cultivation base is exploding. Chi. Chi. 2 surging sounds violently slammed. Weisuo kept moving across the void, approaching the valley less than 600 miles, double divine mystic playing a simultaneous Only My Heart sword, 2 cyan divine lights, precise locking, towards Virtue sect master kills. I don't think you are still alive to destroy our design. Virtue sect master great treasure, 2 hands squeezed out a print, playing a word of town 1 person, hard to block Weisuo's 2 Only My Heart sword. You want to destroy our design, all of our cultivation base has skyrocketed, you have time. You faked the people of the world, this time I will let you die. At the same time, the 2 milky white Deo venerable also squatted on the Virtue sect master, and his breath rose again. Weisuo didn't answer at all, playing Mt Sumi great lifting, a white mountain of Pang great treasure, appears out of thin air, like a giant great treasure whip, spanning 600 miles and slamming down. At the same time, to Mt Sumi great lifting reveals the white mountain as a cover. Weisuo stimulates the life and death book, and a twilight word breaks through the void, but instead comes first, surpassing the white mountain of Pang great treasure. The 2 giant treasure divine might are not precisely locked and hit the valley directly. Many people are at a loss, feel the catastrophe, and have hit powerful energy to block. Weisuo is trying to play MT a hit from Sumi great lifting and the life and death book. Powerful energy is on the side of 2 Only My Heart swords. Void vibration. Virtue sect master and Immortal Ascension sect master are also discolored on the face, while playing a golden Buddha light and a white shrine, turning into a great treasure umbrella and a white Deo chart block. Hong. Like the giant great treasure stars colliding with each other, Weisuo played MT. The powerful energy of Sumi great lifting and life and death book was all shattered. All the crystal columns and arrangements in the valley below were not damaged, but many of the milky Deo venerable above were influenced by the crazy opening of origin chi. They all changed the original trajectory and flew in all directions. Spiritual chi was empty, like a real elixir sliding in the air. Many milky white Deo venerable, and even flew out thousands of miles to start falling. AIDS_crew_ first name Commonwealth 26 IDS_crew_ first name Commonwealth 26. All the Virtue sect and Immortal Ascension sect cultivator in the valley screamed again. These are all gone to the great treasure. It is possible to break into their naked body and promote their cultivation base. All these people, I want to kill Weisuo. Pu. 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 The white Deo venerable continually falls, the scene is unimaginable. Some ordinary grasses are smashed by the white Deo venerable, and they are beginning to change, filled with amazing spiritual chi, showing spirit light, and even starting a great treasure. Ordinary grasses are even different. Change, bloomed out of flowers, as if directly turned into a spiritual herb. Lonely work. Wei Suo shines in the eyes and continues to use the void walking step. The breath is once again, and 2 rounds of lightning waning moon are played. If it really does not affect this arrangement, he and Ling Longtian can only escape desperately, otherwise the cultivation base of everyone in Virtue Sect and Immortal Ascension Sect will increase dramatically, and he and Ling Longtian may not escape. Hong. Once again, like the giant great treasure star, the void is like a collapse, and the sky above the valley seems to have become dark. The great treasure half of the White Dao Venerable changed the original trajectory and flew out. Ah! Ah! Virtue Sect Master and many cultivators screamed fiercely, making crazy power to Wei Suo, but at a distance of more than 400 miles, all powerful energy was escaped by Wei Suo. Pu a flying White Dao Venerable, between the void and the sudden, just hit the Wei Suos. This, Wei Suo instantly felt his body full of vigorous origin chi, melting at his amazing speed in his own true Yuan, and he couldn't help but feel awkward. I want to break through divine mystic. Suddenly, at this time, a Virtue Sect dad suddenly called a surging sound, with a milky White Dao Venerable hitting him, his sun shining, his golden core breaking, the rolling core chi, the sound of divine mystic oscillated. Ah! But almost in the twinkling of an eye, this Virtue Sect daddy's surprise great treasure called surging sound suddenly turned into a screaming surging sound. His physical moment gives a feeling of being stiffened and turned into a dead wood. Mortal body turns into wood. At this moment, a statue of the amazing spiritual chi, like the White Dao Venerable of the elixir, made this Virtue Sect dad directly break through the golden core 5th layer and hit divine mystic, but at this juncture, the old man failed. The body is not able to withstand too much core chi, the body begins to be woodized. An agaric-colored handheld Kanjak Buddha appeared on the head of the old Virtue Sect, but only stood for a breath of time, and immediately mourned and twisted and began to collapse. This scene once again shocked everyone. Path to Heaven. Author, Wu Zy. Chapter 974. Chapter 974 is a one-man battle. What happened? At this time, Virtue Sect Master, Immortal Ascension Sect Master and Zantai Linglan found that Wei Suo crossed the void and accurately intercepted a Milky Dao Venerable. The second Milky White Dao Venerable, like the elixir, hits the Wei Suo naked body. Hong. The momentum of Wei Suo is also a surge. This is not good. What surgery does he have to see through these linguistic trajectories? In an instant, Virtue Sect Master and others reacted, and their faces changed dramatically. They all snarled and played divine might all the way to Wei Suo. Hong. Wei Suo once again made 2 rounds of lightning waning moon in the valley, colliding with divine might of the great treasure piece of great treasure, and the numerous brilliance annihilated. Only the sparsely colored Dao Venerable fell into the valley, and more milky Dao Venerable changed. The original trajectory is flying in all directions. Shua. At the same time, Wei Suo launched the void walking step again, crossed the void, in front of the 2 milky Dao Venerable, a milky Dao Venerable broke into his naked body, and another milky Dao Venerable slipped from his side. Not able to intercept. Even so, Wei Suo's eyes are full of surprises. These, like the elixir of the Milky Dao Venerable, like an unimaginable character completely beyond true immortal, the fragments of the great treasure, are incomprehensible, but now Wei Suo rely on Bright King induction scripture, but is able to sense some traces, and let him even more did not think is that these ivory Dao Venerable some origin chi, seems to and his naked body of some origin chi, unexpectedly and he naked some origin chi in the body has a close meaning, which makes him able to intercept some of the Milky Dao Venerable. Ah! Kid, I can't think of you being able to intercept this kind of thing. How do you feel? One such thing, how many amazing origin chi? How many cultivation base can be raised? At this time, green-robed old man is also excited about the wow great treasure. Hong. Now Wei Suo doesn't have time to think carefully, and there is no time to answer green-robed old man's words. He once again hits 2 rounds of lightning waning moon, stepping out 1 step, and once again in front of a milky Deo Venerable, let this milky white Deo Venerable hit in the naked body. Ah! An old man from Immortal Ascension sect suddenly screamed at great treasure, his golden core chi interest had reached its peak and was fleeing out of the valley, apparently with the help of Heaven's Dome powerful energy reaching the summit of the golden core 5th layer, but also unable to break through divine mystic. I was afraid that like the old virtue sect, he failed and broke down when he broke divine mystic. But at this time, a milky white Deo Venerable that changed the trajectory in the collision of the powerful energy of the world again, let him play countless powerful energy, how to hide cannot escape, into his naked body. There was a desperate look on his face, a surging sound inside the naked body, the golden core broke, and core chi flowed out. There is no divine mystic at all, and the name of Immortal Ascension sect has completely lost confidence. It did not guide core chi at all. His body was directly cracked and then turned into pieces of dead wood, which was shocking. Ah! Kill! Kill me this one! Weisuo, I am going to smash you a corpse and bind your divine soul to make it torment. Let you know what is called real pain. Boom! A surging sound, the Virtue sect master rises from the white jade platform and rushes towards Weisuo. At this moment, the Virtue sect master completely lost his heart. Previously, he had been used by Weisuo to destroy the body, and this time he could see the great treasure, his cultivation base could even break through. Divine Mystic 5th layer late stage, but was smashed by Weisuo. At this moment, the arrangement in the valley has almost lost its function. The condensed milky white Deo Venerable is almost completely scattered. The milky white Deo Venerable falling in the valley, few of them, and then sticking to the valley, have lost meaning. The fruit that has already eaten the mouth is suddenly taken from the mouth. And this fruit can still make him skyrocket, even arrogant of the fruit of the entire cultivation world. How to keep Virtue sect master crazy, how can I keep him calm and hard? Kill this child and say it again. Immortal Ascension sect master is also a surging sound, followed by Virtue sect master, 2 great treasure divine mystic, Weisuo. Death. The 2 sect master ordered that all Virtue sect cultivator and Immortal Ascension sect cultivator be smashed out, and the chi flame, which is a strong great treasure, shakes the world. Pu. At this time, among the milky white Deo Venerable in the valley, there was a body in Zantai Linglan. Zantai Linglan's body suddenly changed into a breath, and a breathtaking core chi was in the naked body. I will open it. This guy is just about to break through the divine mystic. Ling Longtian swept it, his eyes suddenly cold. But Zantai Linglan didn't fall like the 2 old antiques. Just at the moment of the golden core's break, Zantai Linglan's hand appeared a bronzed pill bottle, crushed and directly put one of the amber medicines. Pill swallowed it. As soon as this medicine pill swallowed, Zantai Linglan's body smelled more and more, and it was more and more pungent treasure. It was sent from Zantai Linglan. If there is a giant treasure, it is growing at an alarming rate. Health. What is Gooden? This guy is already fully prepared, and there is no problem breaking divine mystic. Weisuo's eyes were awkward, and the thought of flashing in her heart was not the slightest stop. She once again crossed the void and intercepted a milky Deo Venerable. An Immortal Ascension sect is almost too old to open his eyes, and the half-naked body has been smashed into the earth's old antique, which has inspired a bloody broken ancient furnace, and issued a great treasure piece of blood-red divine mark. This is obviously also the passing of the Immortal Ascension sect, which will never be used. This sparks the blood-red divine mark of the great treasure piece, which is a real true immortal chi, but the divine mark at that time, the bloody broken ancient furnace was also divided in the hands of old antique, obviously only the powerful energy that was excited once. Without divine mystic cultivation base, don't come up and die. Even the real immortal armament can pose any threat to me at your speed. Real immortal chi was overwhelming and tremulous, but Wei Suo didn't even look at the old man at all, just coldly out of the surging sound, once again crossed the void, and intercepted two milky white Deo Venerable. Ah! Great treasure piece of blood red divine mark has not been fully played, that immortal ascension sect old antique suddenly great treasure called, all bursting open. All of the virtue sect and immortal ascension sect cultivator, which had been completely red-eyed by these dazzling Deo Venerable, were shocked and were all in the air. This, really comparable to the real elixir. At the same time, Wei Suo's eyes could not help but violently beat. Although he didn't have time to perceive his cultivation base, but the milky white Deo Venerable had changed too much into the naked body, but it made him feel instantly, his cultivation base is close to divine mystic. Middle stage of second layer. A milky white Deo Venerable makes many cultivators on the scene directly upgrade the golden core cultivation base of first layer, and he just grabbed 6 milky Deo Venerable at the moment, and has approached the cultivation base of divine mystic second layer middle stage. Wei Suo double divine mystic naked body. How many amazing resources did you consume from the divine mystic first layer to the divine mystic second layer? At this time, it was only 6 such milky Deo Venerable, which has already raised his cultivation base from divine mystic second layer initial stage to divine mystic second layer middle stage. Wei Suo once again crossed the void and immediately went to the front of a milky Deo Venerable. But at this time, Wei Suo suddenly made 2 rounds of lightning waning moon to the rear. Chi! Chi! Behind Wei Suo's, countless golden divine marks form a variety of Buddhas, instruments, divine mystic, and Buddhist temples. They dance like Wei Suo, a unique piece of origin Chi. Like burning in the void, it made a fierce humming surging sound. At the same time, a white condense of the Deo chart, also flashed inside, and suppressed together. This is the 2 divine might that Virtue Sect Master and Immortal Ascension Sect Master teamed up to join Wei Suo. Hong, Hong. Wei Suo's 2 lightning waning moons captured the 2 divine might tracks accurately and collided with the 2 divine mights, purely one man, against 2 divine mystic great treasures. Ah! Everyone, including Virtue Sect Master and Immortal Ascension Sect Master, is awesome. Wei Suo played against the enemy with one person, one of which was Lightning Waning Moon, which completely overwhelmed the White God Cow Deo chart by Immortal Ascension Sect Master, and crushed the past Pang Great Treasure Yu Wei. Playing Immortal Ascension Sect the Master flew back and forth in the air, and Divine Mystic Origin Chi was annihilated in front of him, and it took only a few dozen miles to stop Wei Suo. The other round of Lightning Waning Moon, which collapsed under the numerous divine domains produced by Virtue Sect Master, but the impact of the attack by Virtue Sect Master hit Wei Suo did not even avoid it. Avoid. All the remaining Yu Wei hit Wei Suo's, and Wei Suo's body just shivered and gave off a surging sound divine iron clear cry, which didn't even have any damage. Pu. Wei Suo didn't move in the air, didn't move an inch, intercepted a milky Deo Venerable in front of him, and his breath rose again. Wei Suo turned and played 2 rounds of Lightning Waning Moon again, actively attacking Virtue Sect Master and Immortal Ascension Sect Master. Ah! Everyone was astonished. The naked body of Immortal Ascension Sect Master flew out, and all the white shrines that were blocked were all broken, and the blood was coughed up in the mouth. Virtue Sect Master roared again, but the divine might was slightly better than Wei Suo, but Yu Wei hit Wei Suo, exactly like divine iron, and even the influence of Wei Suo's true Yuan flow. His body is divine iron. Even the tough and strong great treasure has reached this level. In the horror of everyone, Wei Suo did not stop, chasing another milky Deo Venerable, while playing 2 rounds of Lightning Waning Moon, attacking Virtue Sect Master alone. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Path to Heaven. Author, Wu Zy. Chapter 975. Chapter 975 The Life of Heaven's Dome. Save Sect Master. Many of the achievement and virtue sect cultivators are called Great Treasure, desperately playing a powerful energy to block Wei Suo's attacks. Almost all achievement and virtue sect cultivator have no confidence in achievement and virtue sect's resistance to Wei Suo's 2 rounds of lightning waning moon, and believe that achievement and virtue sect master can't resist at all. The same is true, the 2 rounds of lightning waning moon by Wei Suo near divine mystic second layer middle stage have turned half of the sky into a dark black, divine might, completely equivalent to 2 divine mystic third layer middle stage cultivators 1 strike. Hong. Achievement and virtue sect. All the powerful energy on this side is almost instantaneous, even if there are many achievement and virtue sect great treasure cultivator desperately shot. Achievement and virtue sect master is still a surging sound great treasure, and is beaten backwards. Behind the golden light is blooming in a piece of golden Baltic flower, and a bloody blood is flying out of the body. Stop me from dying. Wei Suo is surging sound, sipping again, crossing the void again, intercepting a milky white Deo Venerable. Ah! At the same time, a freshly printed divine light hit Wei Suo's immortal ascension sect disciple, a surging sound, and the entire naked body was completely violently dispersed by the invisible powerful energy. A group of blood flowers. Pu. The breath of Wei Suo was once again violent, and I thoroughly crossed the divine mystic second layer middle stage. Ah! Ah! Immortal Ascension sect master and achievement and virtue sect master couldn't help but hysterically roar, but the two did not dare to approach Wei Suo. They could only watch Wei Suo continue to cross the void, toward another milky white Deo Venerable. Ah, fast, their layout is full of powerful energy, kid, don't worry about them, just cut a few more, your cultivation base is improved, and all of them are not your own at all. Green-robed old man, it's also a great treasure of wow, and I'm screaming at the milky white Deo Venerable, which is more impressive than Wei Suo. The powerful energy of restrictions is all done. Wei Suo's gaze was swept away, and cracks began to appear on many of the crystal columns in the valley. The spirit light emitted slowly disappeared, and the milky white Deo Venerable above the valley began to disappear. Hong. Also at this time, the void giant earthquake, the valley above the void, countless heaven and earth origin chi, formed hundreds of feet of light people, toward the white Yotajing above the Zantai Linglan flutter, took up countless wind, blown sandstone, the remaining dozens of white Deo above the valley venerable, also all because of the astonishing origin chi oscillation and changed the trajectory, toward all directions fly out. A strong great treasure, bursting out from Zantai Linglan's body, divine mystic flutters hundreds of miles. Zantai Linglan broke through divine mystic at this time. At the moment of this complete breakthrough, Zantai Linglan shot 99 streamer waterfalls towards Wei Suo. Each waterfall consisted of terrifying inner chi, and the front of the sky seemed to be distorted, making everyone's divine consciousness and perception all have distortions in it. I will help you deal with this guy. You control you to intercept these Deo Venerable. Ling Longtian glanced at the back of Wei Suo's, and there was a grey brilliance on her body, which was forced towards Zantai Linglan, and all the waterfalls collapsed in front of her. These milky Deo Venerables are obviously useless to her, so during this time Ling Longtian did not set up shapeshift great art to intercept these milky Deo Venerables, but just followed Wei Suo's, until now. The strength of this person is comparable to divine mystic. Seeing that divine might from Zantai Linglan collapsed in front of Ling Longtian, all cultivators on the side of achievement and virtue sect and immortal ascension sect, including Zantai Linglan who just broke through to divine mystic, all changed their faces. Pu. Wei Suo didn't stop at all, and played 2 rounds of lightning waning moon again, bombarding the achievement and virtue sect master and immortal ascension sect master, respectively, so that the two could free their hands to attack Ling Longtian. At the same time, cross the void again, intercepting a milky white Deo Venerable. Hong. Hong. Immortal Ascension Sect Master and Achievement and Virtue Sect Master have gathered a lot of Immortal Ascension Sect and Achievement and Virtue Sect's Great Treasure Cultivator, but Weisuo, under the attack, these people blocked, but did not dare to attack. Our design has become the wedding dress of this person. Both groups saw that Weisuo stopped the Milky Dao Venerable without stopping, and the air was soaring again. On the other side, Zantai Linglan's face was white, and Divine Might was played again and again, and no shapeshift great art blocked Ling Longtian's approach. Laugh. Suddenly, Zantai Linglan's eyes flashed fiercely, slamming his teeth, and several brilliances broke into the array in the valley below. At this moment, all the people were shocked, even Weisuo immediately stopped to pursue a Milky Dao Venerable, stepping out and crossing the void on one side. A terrifying inner chi instantly filled the void. Ka. 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 All the suspended quaint light words in the valley, the giant great treasure crystal columns all collapsed, all the milky white crystal sheets projected on heaven's dome disappeared, turning into a cloud of annihilation. 5 or 6 Immortal Ascension Sect cultivators, which were dodge, were swept in a cloud of light, and all of them fly in ash, leaving nothing at all. All the people are madly dodging and desperately fleeing away from the valley of the secret place valley. Desolate God is broken. Zantai Linglan's figure disappeared with void golden gourd, while a surging sound sternly shouted, the naked body seemed to shrink a little more than half, the rolling divine mystic origin chi and divine light formed a transparent long mirror, will be great the treasures that annihilate everything are folded up, pressing against Ling Longtian and Weisuo. Weisuo, who was shaking in the void and extremely dignified, suddenly appeared next to Ling Longtian, who was escaping backwards. He immediately launched the void walking step shapeshift great art again, and then retired. Desolate race great treasure the shapeshift great art of void deist is extremely amazing. It leads the void, and presses these collapsed and scattered heaven's dome powerful energy towards him and Ling Longtian. These heaven's dome powerful energies inner chi is even more complete with the ancient emperor corpse's inner chi, with Weisuo and Ling Longtian's current divine ability, without shapeshift great art blocking. Green-robed old man is also called great treasure, and the extreme excitement from the beginning has turned into extreme fear. Inner chi, which destroys everything, is like a mania. Weisuo can save Ling Longtian, spanning more than 30 miles, but this rolling pressure has already reached Weisuo's. At this moment, at least 4 or 5 people of Achievement and Virtue Sect and Immortal Ascension Sect are completely annihilated in the illusion of annihilation. Suddenly, the terrifying inner chi that annihilated everything suddenly burst, like a shapeshift great art great treasure suddenly lost the success of true Yuan. Ka. On the far secret place heaven's dome, suddenly a surging sound bursting surging sound. All the cultivators who survived in the blink of an eye, only on the heaven's dome, suddenly cracked a crack. On the heaven's dome, a crack was split. Moreover, this crack is completely shocking to everyone. Without the movement of shapeshift great art, it is only a few feet long and wide. Immediately, the bottom of the crack is deep underground, and the top of the crack is above the upper cloud, so that everyone can't see it. The height of everyone is completely frozen, as if they are set in the void. The heart is shocked to the point that it is impossible to move a stalk. It is hard to say that Xuanhuan is emanating from the crack, and it has formed a deputy picture. Still brilliant, gathering an unimaginable amount of endless to the great treasure of the level 9 roundabout. The breath of one body swam the whole world, and the golden god of my own for 9 days and 10 places stood above the heavens and the earth. In the previous picture, the remaining more than 1,000 terrifying silver clothes with the white-robed cultivator great treasure, between his hands, all turned into a strip of divine mark, turned into a golden pill, formed an unimaginable golden sword, and went to the white-robed cultivator, who was so stubborn. The void completely collapsed. As there are countless heavens and stars, the white-robed cultivator walks out of the broken void, and although there are countless terrifying wounds on the body, it does not stop at all, to the opposite of the golden god. Booming. At this moment, I don't know how many hits were instantly hit between the two, how many divine might collided, how many voids were broken. Pa. But there is still nothing to stop the white-robed cultivator. The white-robed cultivator suddenly a loud slap in the face of the golden god. A golden god of the 9 days and 10 places, I was slapped in the face by the white-robed cultivator and flew out. The white-robed cultivator's faint gaze seems to be just like a mosquito-like table lust. Ah! The golden god seems to make a fierce roar, and there is a lot of divine light, a variety of divine domain repression that makes it hard for everyone to see. Pa! But this golden god is still being slapped in the face again. You want to be the god of this world, but unfortunately, there is no god in this world. I am not, you are not. When you are a dog, you know that this place is not a dog. The world is short, the one to fight is this day, this place. You are relying on the cultivation base, self-righteous, really ridiculous. If there is a God in the world, let me erase this God. An unstoppable will of a stock, suddenly shocked in the Weisuo sea of consciousness, is the white-robed cultivator, telling the golden God, the life of anyone, not tolerant, cannot be controlled by God. An unspeakable shock, filled in Weisuo's heart, to the white-robed cultivator. He suddenly couldn't say the ah, not because of the fear of great treasure divine ability, but because of fear. Give me to destroy, destroy, destroy. Destroying the heavens and exterminating the earth. Golden God is beaten like a dog, completely crazy. In the endless void, the real stars are let down, the heavens and the earth are cracked, countless creatures are coated with charcoal, countless meteorites, fire stream, astral origin chi, destroy everything. The white-robed cultivator rises up and takes him as the center. Countless divine ability and Xuanhuan fly out. It has completely cracked. Between the world that will be destroyed, there is a giant great treasure of heaven's dome. You want to save this world, your true UN and cultivation base, you can't bear such loss. Do you really think that you are the omnipotent savior? Myriad creations of heaven and earth is nothing more than a plaything in the hands of the strong. Even these can't be abandoned. You are destined to be defeated in my hands. Golden God's crazy great treasure laughs, plays countless golden runners, the whole giant great treasure's white heaven's dome, turned into 7 pieces. Suddenly, countless compassion light spots were sent from the northernmost place and merged into the 7 cracked white heavens dome. The 7 white heavens dome, which was almost completely collapsed and scattered, suddenly fixed and condensed, forming 7 white masks, enclosing 7 of the great treasures of China. Countless astral origin chi, meteorite turbulence, extraterrestrial monster beast, 7 white masks, 7 pieces of great treasure land, the blue sea turned into mulberry fields, filled with vast mountains, wilderness, barren land, every moment, like the change of the blue sea turned into mulberry fields, but the 7 white masks are still standing still, and the 7 pieces of great treasure land are firmly fixed. The picture slowly disappeared, the white great cultivator's strong great treasure will and heaven-defying breath, but still echo in Weisuo's naked body, making Weisuo's heart shake. Ka. And just at this time, another surging sound. On the heaven's dome, a crack was formed next to a cracked ground-breaking crack. Ka. Then the third one, clause 4. That is a kind of speech that can be described without words. There is a crack in the heaven's dome that seems to have never disappeared since ancient times. From the secret place outside the heaven's dome, there is also a bursting surging sound. The slice of heaven's dome disappears. Heaven's dome completely collapses. Path to Heaven. Author, Wu Ziyi. Chapter 976. Chapter 976 gave birth to great treasure. Little wind, why don't you care so much? The night before, I gave you the black coarse sword's oral intercourse. You haven't even backed up. Your uncle will entrust you to me, but it is not for you to follow me. On the edge of a secret place, Heaven's Dome, a middle-aged Han, wearing a yellow robe, is learning a child who is only 6 or 7 years old. Huang Bobo, don't blame me. I have been reading Shapeshift Great Art for the past 2 days. 6 or 7-year-old children smiled and looked naughty. The middle-aged man wearing a yellow robe was just looking forward to what he was saying, but suddenly the great treasure changed, and the whole person was shocked and speechless. Huang Bobo, what happened? What happened to Heaven's Dome? The 6 or 7-year-old children around him also kept screaming. It's like a piece of ice suddenly bursting, a crack, spread on Heaven's Dome on the left side of the 2 secret places, and the Heaven's Dome is completely cracked. In a flash, the Heaven's Dome in front of them also begins to crack. Collapse. Heaven's Dome in the wilderness of the secret place, there are countless beasts surging sound. Teacher brother, since you are so happy intercourse bell girl, then why not tell her, this kind of thing, always want our man to export first. On one side of the hill, 2 heavenly circuit realms young cultivators lay in the grass, squatting on a grass and lazing in the sun. Forget it, wait a while and tell her. One of the young black robes with a thick eyebrow of the eyebrows thought about it, and said to the other young man in Xingyi who was persuading him. She didn't always want to be white but cranes to do mounts, I want to help her. Hunt and talk again. Anyway, no hurry. Speaking of this secret place, the 2 young people suddenly looked at the great treasure and jumped up. Ka! Ka! A burst of surging sound came from the far secret place, far away from the end of the line of sight. The looming milky white light curtain disappeared quickly. Clock girl, you will be my Deo companion. On the top of a secret place, a young man in a brocade dress with some oily noodles is pointing at Heaven's Dome, who is far away from the secret place, and speaks to a female cultivator in a green shirt. Thank you for the good intention of Zhao, fellow deist, but there is no plan to form Deo companion with others. Female cultivator. The rumor refused, and the corner of the eye was clearly opposed to the disgust of the young man. Chong girl, I am really sincere to you, ask me how deep I love you. This Heaven's Dome represents my heart. The sea is dry, as long as this Heaven's Dome is in a day, I promise to love you for a day. Some young people with noodles continue to laugh and entangle, but at this time, the young man's eyes are full of precious treasure, and they are bulging like dead fish eyes. Just in Heaven's Dome, not far from the secret place, suddenly there was a big great treasure's breach. Then, the great treasure piece of the great treasure's Heaven's Dome collapsed, and in front of him and the female cultivator, the pieces disappeared. Ah! A group of cultivators on the edge of Heaven's Dome screamed, but for a moment, the cultivators were torn apart by the frenzied monster beast, completely submerged in the animal tide. The rear Heaven's Dome, where the cultivators are located, has completely collapsed. At first glance, the animal tide that is not at the end is forming, and between the heavens and the earth, it is completely boiling. Such a scene is played in many corners of Heaven's Dome great treasure. Heaven's Dome rift, Heaven's Dome has completely collapsed. Heaven's Dome great treasure. There are countless secret places, I don't know how many cultivators are pale, breathing pauses, and even standing unstable. The people who see each other can't believe their eyes, and the Heaven's Dome, which has always existed and gives the impression that it will continue to exist, has collapsed. Is this Heaven's Dome originally formed like this? Wei Suo and Ling Longtian stood in the void and watched Heaven's Dome disappear in front of her eyes. Although she knew that she would welcome such a day, the lust of her heart was still so that she had no shapeshift great art. A cultivation base heaven defying, sitting on the power of the world, almost gathered all the amazing cultivator to the great treasure, want to control the whole world, to be God, but was completely destroyed by the white-robed cultivator. I am just a mortal, even if you are a god, I will kill you. That white-robed cultivator has an unstoppable will, and Wei Suo is completely awe-inspiring, and the heart has a strong resonance. Wei Suo has never thought of himself as a great treasure character, just the little swindler, little rogue cultivator from Spirit Peak City. When he went to kill Lin Taixu, he also held this. I am a small rogue cultivator. You pull down the mentality of the horse. In the final scene, although he did not see it completely, he could see that Heaven's Dome was the white-robed cultivator, and another cultivator from the Polar North Place sacrificed countless divine ability and cultivation base in order to protect all survivors. Suddenly, Wei Suo launched the Void Walking Step Shapeshift Great Art, which drove Ling Longtian across the void. A great treasure piece of gold divine might was crushed from the place where Wei Suo had just disappeared, and numerous golden polo flowers bloomed. At this moment, it was the strongmen of Achievement and Virtue Sect Master and several Achievement and Virtue Sect who attacked Wei Suo. Heaven's Dome has been completely collapsed by you. At this time, you still don't know how to fear, but dare to attack me. Wei Suo avoided this attack, and suddenly there was some inexplicable anger, surging sound anger, shouting a sentence that made him likely to be somewhat difficult to understand. A simply and shocked Achievement and Virtue Sect is a bloody body and soul entirely exterminated. We don't know how to fear and attack you. Don't forget, you sneak into our Achievement and Virtue Sect, steal my Achievement and Virtue Sect to great treasure, kill my Achievement and Virtue Sect cultivator first. Achievement and Virtue Sect Master roared, and the countless golden divine mark was innumerable, completely without any loss of its own, constantly condensing out numerous gods, Shapeshift Great Art, Shen Shan, Shapeshift Great Art Lotus. I have come to this step, and I am not asking you for the super great sect. You, the so-called super great sect, are blessed by this Heaven's Dome, and today's foundation, but you are the great sect's cultivator, which is not like the golden god of the square, high above, the ordinary cultivator as an ant. Feel free to kill people. If it weren't for Sky Sword Sect, would I be alone in Spirit Peak City? If your Mingd wants to kill me, the result is countered by me. I want to design and deal with me. Will I sneak into your Achievement and Virtue Sect like that? Even if I got your Buddha Nature Holy Fruit and took your 7 great treasure secret place things, you later discovered that Mingd and Zantai Linglan designed to deal with me. Come in person, you can ask me, you can talk to me about the conditions, and you still have the results. I am not coveting my things. I only know that mercenaries are pictures. I only know that I want to deal with me. Even Ming's sin is not cured. Who is the first one? Who is the first? I kill Sky Sword Sect, telling all great sect, don't think that you are high. Today, I can also destroy your Achievement and Virtue Sect. Wei Suo also made a series of anger, 2 lightning waning moons simultaneously hit the Achievement and Virtue Sect Master. All of us gather a secret place and gather everyone's powerful energy to fight against him. Immortal Ascension Sect Master and around the body of Immortal Ascension Sect Great Treasure Cultivator both played divine might to help the Achievement and Virtue Sect Master intercept, while Immortal Ascension Sect Master took the lead, towards the direction of the Achievement and Virtue Sect Master go with. Do you think that if you want to gather powerful energy, you can gather powerful energy? At this time, Void Golden Gourd flashed, Zantai Linglan's figure once again revealed, obviously also looking at the situation, want to come out to deal with Wei Suo, but Wei Suo is surging sound between sneer, great treasure by Shapeshift Great Art. The powerful energy of the sound is directly suppressed by Zantai Linglan, who has just revealed the void. Zantai Linglan's naked body was shocked, and all the skin was cracked. Numerous blood beads were scattered, and suddenly disappeared into the void, no longer dare to show up. At the same time, the Immortal Ascension Sect Masters around the body suddenly produced a lot of crystal light, forming a shapeshift Great Art Lotus, pressing his naked body in it. White shivering, although the divine might seal outside the Immortal Ascension Sect Master was instantly shattered, but Immortal Ascension Sect Master also exclaimed, Wei Suo's figure has appeared behind his naked body. Chi. Just as Wei Suo and Ling Longtian's blow hit him almost on the back, Immortal Ascension Sect Master's body appeared white divine light, quickly faded in the void. Immortal Ascension Platform. Immortal Ascension Sect is clearly more than one Immortal Ascension platform, and now Immortal Ascension Sect Master is directly attacked by Wei Suo's under the attack of Wei Suo's. Wei Suo didn't stop at all, once again across the void, heading towards Achievement and Virtue Sect Master. The round of Lightning Waning Moon continues to play, constantly colliding with the Intelligence and Virtue Sect Master and the Divine Might from the Achievement and Virtue Sect owners. Achievement and Virtue Sect. Almost everyone on this side has gathered at the Achievement and Virtue Sect Master, at least 16 of the 7 giant core third layer above the Great Treasure Cultivator, the powerful energy and the Achievement and Virtue Sect Master. The Divine Might is superimposed and itself exceeds the Lightning Waning Moon that Wei Suo is all about. But the rest of the away, but no Shapeshift Great Art poses a threat to Wei Suo with Bright King Induction Scripture and Void Walking Step Shapeshift Great Art. Under continuous non-stop collision, the greatest treasure cultivator of Achievement and Virtue Sect cannot withstand the shock of Divine Might collision. Great Treasure Cough, no Shapeshift Great Art. Shapeshift Great Art. Suddenly, a round of Lightning Waning Moon evokes unimaginable powerful energy, like the Shapeshift Great Art field on the natural manifestation side. Almost all of the cultivators of the Achievement and Virtue Sect were knocked down, and everyone was vomiting blood. Do you want to be an enemy with me? Wei Suo's surging sounds, Achievement and Virtue Sect Master. The inverted body of the naked body, all the pale golden brilliance outside the body collapsed, and there are many cracks on the skin. Achievement and Virtue Sect Master screams fiercely and wants to make a blow, but its body is the surging sound of true UN and Divine Might that can't stand him. Achievement and Virtue Sect's body, broken again, countless blood chi flying. A group of golden light wanted to escape, but Wei Suo's eyes only violently flashed. The golden light from the fragmented body of the Achievement and Virtue Sect Master was sealed by Revolving Heaven's demon suppressing method. The powerful energy of the Revolving Heaven's demon suppressing method was shattered by golden light. But Wei Suo once again applied Shapeshift Great Art and sealed again. After 3 consecutive times, golden light no longer broke out with Shapeshift Great Art and was suppressed by Wei Suo.